Namaskar, myself Pratik. In this session, we are going to discuss after statement level and row level trigger. Let us start this session. Let us consider this scenario where we have a update statement, and this update statement is updating 5 rows of a table. This update statement also has a corresponding trigger, and this indicates trigger action which is performed by the trigger body. You can see that in after type of trigger action is performed after updating all the rows of the table. It means trigger action is performed after executing triggering statement. Here triggering statement is update. So after executing triggering statement, which is updating 5 rows of the table, trigger action is performed. So we can conclude that after trigger executes the trigger action after the triggering statement is executed. So this is called as after statement level trigger. You can clearly see that in before statement level trigger, this trigger action is performed before updating these 5 rows of the table. While in case of after statement level trigger, this trigger action is performed after updating these 5 rows of the table. After triggers are used when you want the triggering statement to complete before executing the trigger action, as indicated in this case. Now let us consider an application of after statement level trigger. Let's suppose we wish to store date and time of update operation on employee table in the log table or log file. It means we wish to maintain a log table which will store the date and time information of update operation on employee table. Whenever we perform any update operation on employee table, its corresponding date and time information will be stored in this log table. In order to implement this, we have to use after statement level trigger. In this case, we wish to store date and time information of this update statement in the log table. We have to store this information only once for the execution of this update statement. Thus, we have to use a statement level trigger. Since we have to store this information after performing update operation on the main table, so that's why we have to use after statement level trigger in this case. First update operation is performed on employee table. It will update all the rows, and after performing its operation, the date and time information of this update statement will be stored once in log table. So trigger will carry an insert statement to insert a record in log table, and it will fetch the values of system date and system time and store these values in the log table. Thus, by using after statement level trigger, we will achieve our objective. In case of after row level trigger, trigger action will be performed for every row updated by the table. In case of after row level trigger, trigger action will be executed once for each row in the transaction. It means if this update statement is updating 5 rows of the table, then this trigger action will be performed 5 times. The commands of row level trigger are executed on all the rows that are affected by the commands that enable the trigger. So if this DML statement affect 100 rows, then trigger action will be performed 100 times. We can conclude this trigger action is performed once for each row affected by the corresponding DML statement. Let us consider an application of after row level trigger. Let's suppose we wish to perform cascade update operation. It means when user update the record from one table, the corresponding records in the other table are updated automatically by the trigger. It means after updating row 1, trigger action will be performed and it will update corresponding row in another table. After updating row 2, trigger action again performed and it will update corresponding row in another table. Same way, after updating third row, trigger action is again performed and it will update corresponding row in another table. So whenever we have to maintain a backup copy of a table, for this we can use after row level trigger. When update operation is performed on main table, for each row updated in the main table, the corresponding trigger is fired and it will modify the corresponding rows in the backup table. So whenever we have to perform cascade operation, or in simple words, whenever we have to maintain a backup table, we can go for after row level triggers. We can conclude all the type of triggers by using this table. Before option can be combined with statement level and row level, and same way after option can be combined with statement level and row level. In case of before statement level trigger, Oracle fires the triggers only once before executing the triggering statement. In case of before row level trigger, Oracle fires the trigger before modifying each row affected by the triggering statement. In case of after statement level trigger, Oracle fires the trigger only once after executing the triggering statement. And in case of after row level trigger, Oracle fires the trigger after modifying each row affected by the triggering statement. We have already discussed that there are three triggering events, that is insert, update and delete statement. So it makes total 12 type of triggers. So the final 12 type of triggers are before insert row level trigger, before insert statement level trigger, after insert row level trigger, and after insert statement level trigger. Same way it will be before update row level and before update statement level, after update row level and after update statement level. So we have 4 types for update, 4 types for insert, and there are 4 types for delete statement. And these are before delete row level, before delete statement level, after delete row level, and after delete statement level. So these are 12 type of triggers. This is all about this session. To read more on this, you can refer my book Simplified Approach to DBMS, which is available on Amazon platform. I request you to subscribe this YouTube channel to receive latest video tutorials on topics like data mining, machine learning, DBMS, big data, NoSQL and many more. To learn SQL in a simplified way, you can join this free online course on SQL, which is available at Udemy platform. I have also authored books on data mining and data warehousing, NoSQL, Beginning with SQL, and PLSQL for beginners. All these books are available on Amazon platform. To read more about this, you can refer my website prateekbhatia.com. Thanks for watching this video.